little concerned about playing the music, but we'll see.
It's all on YouTube.
How that goes. That's true. That's true. I sent you that YouTube playlist. Well, hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi. I just had to mute. Sometimes it just comes on in the background, and then I hear myself 18 seconds after I said something. Welcome to Next Level. From Level with Emily. I host the show. I'm Emily. That's the producer over there, Sam Keenan. Hello, Sam.
Hi.
And we're here to talk about this. I keep bumping the mic because I keep wanting to stay on it so much, for the whatever. I know, it's ridiculous. It's a no-no to touch the mic, and that's all you see on podcasts these days is the podcasters just want to touch the mic and like hold it and stuff. And you're like, stop touching the mic right away. Number one, stop touching the mic. Anyway, we've seen it all. You've seen more than I've even seen in the world of mic touching.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But we're here. We met in radio. That's why we know so much about that stuff. And we are talking about this week's upcoming episode, which is fun in so many different ways. It's a mobile game. It's a mobile game where money from your microtransactions go toward, environmental causes, in particular the ocean, because it is an underwater. It's kind of like underwater Animal Crossing is the way Brent describes it, Brent Meyer being the composer. So that's what we're going to talk about, a game called Katoa in just a moment here. But how you doing, Sam?
Doing pretty good. Yep.
Yeah.
Busy summer.
Busy. You have been busy. Jazz Fest was last weekend. How was Jazz Fest? The Twin Cities Jazz Festival happens downtown in St. Paul at a beautiful park in downtown called Mears Park. And I know Christian McBride was there. I saw Davina was doing a set. Davina and the Vagabonds are a really great local band. And yeah.
I also saw a relatively new group that are calling themselves Take That Back, which is Joan Hutton and Sue Orfield getting together, these two amazing players, and they were fantastic. And I recommend their latest record.
Say their name again, because you digitally wigged out for a second there.
They're going by Take That Back, which is also the name of the record.
Again. Okay.
Take that back. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's Joan.
I mean,
Hutton.
I think we got it. It's just funny that it keeps happening.
Yeah, that is weird. Joan Hutton and Sue Orfield. Yeah. Joan Hutton playing like bass bassoons and things, and Sue Orfield on saxophone. Yep.
Excellent.
And a lot of other good stuff too, but that was a highlight.
Yeah, that show was a highlight.
They just threw down. I thought it was good.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Yeah. That's awesome. We've had major air quality issues again, especially today. It's red is the color, which means unsafe for everyone. It's like they aren't even parsing us into groups anymore. It's like, just don't go outside. Yeah. I'm supposed to go to the Loons game tonight, which of course they play outside. And it being soccer, it's pretty unlikely they'll cancel. I mean, they'll just play. They played in the snow the first game of the year. So I was going to bike there, which I guess I'll still do. I don't know. But it's very smoky, very hazy, very smoky. And just not only is it just a bummer, but it's like even more of a bummer why, right? Like, so hopefully they can get some relief from those fires up north.
Damn Canadians.
Poor Canada. But anyway, yeah. Hi, Sacha. Speaking of Canada.
Hi, Sacha.
I know that Toronto is souther than here, but I wonder what kind of issues they've been having, if any. I'm sure maybe like us, maybe it's kind of come and gone. Like we had it and then we didn't have it. Then we had it, so I don't know. It's unfortunate. A lot of kids' activities keep getting canceled, which is a bummer. But anyway, fire is the biggest bummer of them all.
Yeah. Well, and the feeling it in your chest.
Oh,
yeah,
I know.
Horrific.
I know. I think I'm just going to bite the bullet and bike, though. I think I'm going to do it. because it's such a nice ride. You know, like I get to go over the Marshall Bridge right over the river, and it's a really lovely ride, and it's a really especially nice ride home because it's pretty much downhill the whole way.
Right.
So it doesn't matter how much beer I've had.
Yeah.
Like, I just have to point in the general direction, and I can get here. Anyway, Katoa. What do you have to say about Katoa? It's a lovely the soundtrack is very brief. It's just a little 15-minute little thing. There's way more music actually in the game that just could not be put onto the soundtrack. But
how come?
Yeah. Because the combat in the game is rhythm based, and I hope I'm right when I say this, but I'm pretty sure none of that is represented on the soundtrack itself. I think the only music that's represented in the soundtrack are the biomes and the main theme. So, yeah, because it's free to play, right? I mean, you can try it, and if you decide to spend money on it, then you know that you choose one of 4 charities. One of them is earthday.org, and then they're all big, massive, mostly ocean-based nonprofits and such, and they just on their website it's like, we just gave $50,000 to this charity because of you guys, and you're like, well, that's significant. That's I don't know if that means people spent $2 million and they took $50,000. I don't think that's how it works, though. I think they're pretty much they're doing this from a place of trying to make a difference, which is cool. So
they're raising money for the ocean.
Yeah.
For the ocean.
Yeah. Let's save.
Let's not ruin the ocean.
Yeah. Let's try not to ruin the ocean. So
I think that is, that's one of those environmental issues that I think everybody's on board with, no matter where people are coming from, is we've been overfishing the oceans.
You'd like to think,
messing up the planet. So,
yeah. There was a lady buying tuna in the tuna aisle today. So, I don't judge you. Buy whatever you want to buy. I'm just saying, I think, people theoretically are behind it, but their actions might not, I don't know. That's a complex issue. But this is one way that you could perhaps make some sort of dent in it by playing Katoa. And so this is the story about how I found out about Katoa, because this is a fun one too. Steve Pardo, who is a friend of ours, he's been on the show a couple different times. We met him out in Boston years ago. He used to work for Harmonix. Now he has his own sound design and music production company called Skew Sound in Nashville. And Steve has had a new project coming up kind of any minute now for the past several months. So he and I have kind of been back and forth in touch, like, soon we can talk about this, but not quite yet, and that kind of thing. And then one day he was like, oh, by the way, you should talk to this guy, Brent Meyer, because Brent did the soundtrack for this game that Steve's company just did the sound for. And so he told me about Katoa. And then he's like, and Brent lives by you. And I was like, oh, he probably means Chicago, because that's people just have no idea, especially if they're from the East Coast.
Right.
Anyone from the East Coast doesn't have an idea how big the rest of America is, Well,
so and everything in the middle is all just the same thing. It's all just Chicago.
Totally. I completely get it too. Like, believe me, no judgment there. I understand. But it's just funny how that ended up happening. And it happens that he lives in Stillwater and used to live in South Minneapolis, which is where I live. So he lives in Stillwater, which is, in the grand scheme of things, Minneapolis and St. Paul are pretty close to Wisconsin. And Stillwater is in between us. It's like right on the border. So he's close. He's like a half an hour drive away if there's no traffic, kind of thing. So anyway, that's fun, because that doesn't happen very often ever. It's been a handful of times that we've had Minnesotans on, that actually still live here and work here anyway.
Right.
So that's fun. So that's Brent, and
I swear I must have at least met him before, way back in the day. I think probably, because he said he grew up in Lanesboro.
Yeah.
which I know people from Lanesboro, which is a small town in
Yeah.
southern
Yeah.
Minnesota, and I used to go there all the time back in the day.
Okay. Okay.
And so but and the
Yep.
name sounds vaguely familiar, like I might know it from somewhere else, but we probably
Yeah.
sat in a Lanesboro, coffee
Well,
shop together or something, the ice cream shop or something. I don't know.
yeah, I wonder because he was in a band called the Lindales, which Lindale is a big, you just see that name all over the place here. It's a street and it's an
Hmm.
area and whatever. So that name is significant to the area. And so he was in that band. And then what was the band? He did like some kind of electronic project and I can't, Machine was in the title. Obviously it's going to be in the episode because we talk
Yeah,
about
I
it.
don't
But I
remember.
also wonder if just somehow you cross paths because of those projects of his or
Could be.
whatever, because it sounds like he was active on that scene when you were active on that scene, you know?
Hmm. Hmm.
So, yeah, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to go out I haven't been out to Stillwater, weirdly, in a long time. And I'd love to, they've got a lot of great breweries and stuff out there. We definitely should go out because he would love that. If we came out,
That
we should do that.
that's a great idea. We should totally do
Yeah.
that. We should
Yeah.
go to Stillwater. We
Yep.
should meet Brent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Have some Stillwater brews.
Hmm.
But anyway, let's listen to some music because that's what we're here for, really.
Okay.
I am going to go to YouTube for it only because it's not on Spotify or anything like that. And it's on Amazon,
Mm.
which is fine. But so the thing that the main theme to me is kind of quite a bit different than the rest of the music. I mean, the main theme kind of establishes this overall what you can expect, I think, in terms of the tone of the game and the art and all
Also
of those things.
kind of the instrumentation of the rest of the music in a way too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's definitely main themey, which is not
Hmm.
what you get from the rest of the music. Is really ambient, but also has like little melodic motifs and stuff, but nothing like what this main theme is. Yeah. So let's listen to the main theme here.
Okay.
Things are turned on and not making sound. Oh, I know why.
I can hear it.
You can?
Yeah.
Okay.
I bet Sacha can hear it.
I know what's going on. Yeah, so that's the gist of the main theme right there.
Yeah. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, it's again very main themey, right? Like we're setting a mood, we're setting a tone, and I really like it. I like how melodic it is. It gets stuck in my head pretty easily, which is, that's good. That's what you want, right? But then the rest of the music, like I said, is really kind of like, mood.
Yeah. The rest of it's real spacious and
Yep.
simple and
Yeah, which makes sense because gameplay wise, you're just kind of like managing an environment. You're not traversing or anything like that. You're like, you're managing a space that happens to be underwater. So this is one track I really like called Gaia that has cello in it. But right away, you can tell how different it is, So meditative. I love that. Just peaceful. There's nothing to it, but it's so gorgeous. So pretty, that cello. God, I love that. So beautiful.
Yeah.
Just so full and you can just feel the body of that cello vibrate,
Well,
I
also
love
just
it.
because of that hanging ambience, when the cello finally comes in with a little bit of spunk on the bow or whatever, it's like,
Yeah.
you really feel it, because
Yeah.
all this anticipatory
Yep.
vibe set up,
Yeah. So good. So good. Let's listen to a little bit of one more here. Super chill, right? Yeah.
I'm more relaxed already.
Yeah. I know. Let's go dive in the ocean. Yeah. So that's a little taste of that. From Brent Meyer, a composer who lives near us.
Yeah, and
very proud of that.
Yeah.
Or I am. Sam doesn't give a shit.
People live near us.
People live near us. It's amazing. Yeah.
No, it seems like a very like utilitarian score. Like it seems like it probably works perfectly for the game, which is
of
what
course.
you want.
Yep.
And I thought it was cool in what I've heard so far of your discussion with him. He talks a little bit about kind of trying to find the sound for the game and how they had kind of put together this whole electronic thing, and then he wasn't feeling it, and so they took this orchestra direction, which seemed a little bit maybe not quite right necessarily for underwater stuff, but then made it work. And that's neat when composers talk about that kind of stuff. He also talked about that song Gaia that you played a little bit from, and how like it started out as some kind of waltz, and it's a completely different thing, and it just shows that, like, I like that kind of thing in these discussions, because it just shows people figuring stuff out as they're going. Like, it's not a cookie cutter industry or process,
Right. And just the fact that they spent time to work on it, they spent time to like get it right. And just, it's nice. It's like if something is rejected, it's not because, it's like, let's just make it better. Let's like find the right tone, or it's just not, I like that. Yeah. It's good to know that your first try isn't always what'll stick. And that just the team, worked to find the right sound is pretty great. So yeah. It's a neat little game too. I've enjoyed it. Played it a little tiny bit here and there. Yeah, it's cool stuff. So do you have anything else you want to say about Katoa?
I don't think so. I mean, I'll have to check it out. I'll have to check out the game itself. All I've seen is the cover art for the soundtrack, which must be for the game too. But
yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Not much more to say about that.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Well, we'll see you next week. Find a link to our Discord down in the show notes. You can talk to us about this and other episodes. And subscribe to this YouTube channel. That's amazing. And if you can help us out financially on Patreon, that's patreon.com/level. And we shall be back next week, which is the 5th, isn't it? July 5th.
Yeah.
At 3 Central Daylight Time. So, all right. Thanks, everyone.